quick-thinking Mounties have given an injured eagle a second chance at life and at flight. The bird was rescued from a busy highway near Port Alberni after being hit by a car, but capturing the eagle wasn't easy. As CTV's Jet Bazzi shows us tonight, injured bird recovery isn't found in the RCMP training manual.
He doesn't know it, but this eagle has 2 RCMP officers to thank for saving his feathers.
It wouldn't have survived if it had been left out on its own.
On Tuesday, Port Alberni's RCMP detachment received a call about an injured bird. It had been hit by a car and was causing traffic delays on Highway 4.
My son and I are avid bird and eagle lovers, so I decided I was going to go on the call.
On the way to the scene, the officers made a quick stop to gather supplies.
Stop at my house and we'll pick up a blanket, and we picked up my dog's kennel.
They arrived on the scene 10 kilometers outside of town near Faber Road.
As I approached, he started hopping across the road, and so I ran and got a blanket.
Constable Thompson followed the injured bird into the bush.
Threw the blanket on top of him and just sort of grabbed him and carried him out.
She wrapped the blanket around the bird tightly, securing the sharp beak and talons. The officer placed the eagle in the kennel and transported it back to the detachment.
It didn't necessarily sound like it was in pain or anything. It just was making a few little chirps and noises.
Eventually, he was brought here to the North Island Wildlife Recovery Center.
Soaking wet, very stressed out, had some abrasions on its wings from being hit by a vehicle.
The wounded animal is recovering from what may be a broken wing.
Could be even muscle damage, something like that.
Julie says the Mounties saved the bird's life.
He probably would have stayed close to the road or disappeared into the bush, and if he couldn't fly, if he does have an injury like that, he most likely would have starved to death.
A wounded eagle is often under stress and difficult to capture. The bird's talons and beak could wound a would-be rescuer. That's where Constable Thompson's knowledge of birds came into play.
So having somebody that knew that it was important to kind of cover the bird up and take away its sight is really important.
The officers are happy to hear the bird is recovering. They made a new feathered friend.
It feels great to know that both of us were able to be out there and actually play a part in getting this bird safe, and actually know that at the end of the day, it's going to, have its life to move on with.
The eagle will remain in the wooden box until he regains his strength. Once he is stronger, his wing will be x-rayed. He may spend the winter in the recovery center's flight pen, but will hopefully be released back into the wild next spring. A second chance to take flight, all thanks to a pair of RCMP officers with bird sense. Jet Bazzi, CTV News, Port Alberni.